Hey, Facebook, Preston Ayers live in the WCYB newsroom, talking with you this morning. A little bit of an update on where things stand right now as the jury selection is now underway in the highly anticipated trial of Megan Boswell. Of course, she is accused of killing her 15-month-old daughter, Evelyn, back in 2020 when she was reported missing. We just got a note from our Kristen Kwan, who is in the courtroom right now. We are unable to have cameras in the courtroom for jury selection. Of course, we can't show you the jury as this trial moves forward. Now, once we are into testimony and opening statements, you'll be able to follow right along what's happening in the courtroom. We'll have that digitally streaming for you here. But for right now, our Kristen Kwan is in there. I'll give you an update of what she had just sent back to the newsroom a couple of minutes ago. They've said this is the Judge Goodwin telling them that it's been 15 to 20 years since they have sequestered a jury in Sullivan County. So once this jury is seated, they're going to be housed in a hotel. They're going to be away from their family, away from all media, very limited interaction, and they will be sequestered for the duration of this trial, which could last as long as a month. Now, we do know they've been through a large panel of juries, been called in, somewhere around 1,200 potential jurors being brought in for this, and they've been making their way one by one through this morning. There's, I think, maybe a couple they've already selected to possibly be jurors. They've been held off to the side. Some have been dismissed as well, and they're going to continue working their way through. 12 is what they will need. They'll select some alternates. Sometimes that's usually around a total of 14 people they're looking for. We've heard 1,200 potential jurors, so you can do the math of how many will be dismissed. Now, interesting note that Kristen did send in, some folks didn't show up for jury duty today. If you got that summons and you didn't follow through on that, or when they told you to be there, guess what? Knock, knock, the Sheriff's Department's going to come see you, and that is not going to be one of those scams we talk so much about, and you're not going to get out of that with a gift card or whatever that we talk about those scams. You do have to follow that jury duty summons. If you got it, you're going to need to go to the courthouse when they tell you to do so. Of course, we are talking about the trial of Megan Boswell. This case has drug on now. This is February 2025. We're talking to you. This case first began unfolding in February 2020. That's when that Amber Alert was first issued, when the young 15-month-old Megan Boswell had not been seen at that time for 2 weeks, had not been seen since a couple of months there, I believe was when she was last seen. 2 weeks later, after the Amber Alert was issued, her body was found on some Boswell family property in Sullivan County. That was in 2020. Now, fast forward to 2021, that's when District Attorney General Barry Stavas, who is prosecuting this case, announced that they had filed charges against Megan Boswell, young Evelyn's mother. She is charged with a whole host of charges, I believe 19 in all, from making some false statements that she made leading up to the investigation. You may recall that she thought that Evelyn had been taken and that she was in different places. We saw a search unfold back in North Carolina at one point during that investigation trying to find her, but eventually Megan Boswell was charged. She's the only person charged in connection to this at this point. She's the only one facing charges, and including murder charges and a whole host of other associated charges with that. The case has had a lot of delays along the way. We've seen Megan Boswell change attorneys. That happened at the time as well there, so that's pushed this case back. But now we have today jury selection underway. I'm not sure how long that'll take. They're looking for a panel of at least 12 plus some alternates. So once that happens, we'll be able to show you inside the courtroom and take you in there for the latest as the opening statements get underway at some point when that happens. We'll have much more on this coming up today at noon over on News 5 WCYB on TV. Also, one other note, just a quick note that we're following a breaking story out of Hawkins County involving a serious crash there, involving some TDOT workers there. So we'll have an update on that hopefully coming up today at noon as well. I'm Preston Ayers. We're live in the newsroom. We'll update this here on Facebook with you as developments happen in the trial and the jury selection, but also we'll see coming up here at the top of the hour, about 35 minutes or so from right now on News 5 at noon. For now, thanks for watching. We'll keep you updated as the Megan Boswell trial gets underway.